All right, and that's a Tafsiri band then. They're going to be giving us some more music as we carry on, but it's time for us now to find out what's been happening in the entertainment world. And as you can see, I'm holding two papers here. We've got the Pulse and the Nairobian, and who better to do that than the one and only Stevens Mwendo and Solo. Good morning, gentlemen. It's been a while.
It's Happy New Year. It's Christmas. Together.
It's been a while since you guys were on set, and good to have you, first of all.
Good to have you.
And I hope you've started your year well.
Well, yes. I think the year has been well. Well, we've been shut off, but I think the year has been.
You had been shut off, but now you've been switched back on.
Now we've been switched back on.
You've been switched back on.
A lot of Kivumbi, a lot of things going on, but yes.
Oh, yes, the last time we were with you guys was when Kivumbi was raising a lot of dust.
Now it's
and
just
of
clear.
course, with the political shenanigans that were going on, we needed to switch off Hot Topics because Hot Topics was really political. And you guys are not into politics that much. But anyway, good to have you, and I hope you've been well. So what's happening in the entertainment world?
Well,
before we even get into the Nairobian and the Pulse.
If we just get to catch up, because we cannot go back to Kivumbi.
That's way back. Yeah, that's already history.
We just take it from the big noise now around the world, which is Black Panther, which is one of us.
Oh, yes. I don't know if you guys have managed to watch it. Without giving too many details, because I know a good number may not have watched it. Your take on the film, Stevens?
I give it an okay. And a big one. Okay. We had a chance to watch the film on Friday, the entire Pulse team. But before then, the big noise was around Kisumu, and part of the team was there, expecting Lupita to come here. And we know over the weekend she was in South Africa. Of course, for basic reasons, we would understand that you don't want to make it a Kenyan film when it's an international film that everybody's watching. And of course, with a very powerful artist or actress who is also from South Africa. It's an all-black thing, very well drawn. And I think it's one of the biggest breakthroughs that we have seen with Lupita. And I think it's time when you can say we cannot take Lupita as a joke, when everybody says she's Hollywood now. She's Hollywood.
And she's maintained that position. I mean, from the time she won the award, she's really been consistent on keeping herself on the news for good reasons.
And that's the point. When we were so, some sections of, people across the other side, I tried to trash her and say she's just another black girl, talking about her hairstyle and all those things. And now she's big. You cannot resist her.
You cannot resist or ignore her. Solo, you've watched the film and your take on it.
Yes, I watched it, but, there's been a lot of talk about it. But, well, I think one of the most positive thing about this that it's an all-black cast. I think there was only one white guy
who died.
Who died in
the film. And the thing is, I normally say about films, it's always a black guy that dies first.
yeah. This time around, it was I think stable stand. But wow, Black Panther already topping the box office in records.
And what I love about the film is that we're not just saying it's a good film because it's Lupita and it's all black and it's all this, but it is actually a good film.
Yes,
I watched it and I must say that for me, I'd give it a very clear 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. And she's not stopping at that. Yesterday she broke news that she was reading Trevor Noah's book.
Yes.
And she said, I'm going to make a film out of it again. And so it's a Lupita, let's move to take over Hollywood, which is a very good
All right, and the other thing, of course, that we'd like to focus on, I'd like to hear from you guys, is that Kenya is on a very good place right now when it comes to film. We have Watu Wote that was now nominated also for the Oscars.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing for the film industry in Kenya.
Yes, and all those things are coming to encourage the guys who are down here. Watu Wote did very well in the fact that it was nominated. And of course, many more coming. We expect that. Question was, this film, is it done by Kenyan? Is it directed by a Kenyan? A good debate, but a good thing for us because we are saying we have scenes or places where we can shoot film here. And we have local ideas that we can develop into the world. And right now, Riverwood is taking it up. I think in another month or two, actually in another month, we have the Riverwood Awards, which is basically about the Kenyan film. And I think we are getting to that place where we can say we can now start to tell our story as a Kenyan film industry as opposed to what it used to be aping the West and all that. And I think that's what, again, the Black Panther comes to tell us, that we can tell stories as a black people without necessarily just depending on the white
Yeah,
person.
well, Buy Kenya, Build Kenya.
Yes.
Your thoughts on, first of all, the nominations and how that opens up the scope for film industry in Kenya. Of course, like Stevens mentions, there's the debate as to who the directors were, some Germans, and why we don't have Kenyan directors. But what is evident and what we can take home is that, one, we have talent, because it's done by Kenyan.
Yes.
The story is a Kenyan story. So really a good platform to be on.
Well, for me, my take would be like, it doesn't really matter who produces this, because we have to agree that you cannot make it alone. It's always a stepping stone. Even if we have international directors, then it's a learning process for even all of us, even the actors. They raise the bar to a certain level that even now, because I'm sure we also had trainees who are from Kenya, and some Kenyan directors also assisted, and this was a learning process. And for it also to make it for nomination to the Oscars, it's a positive thing for an industry that has had artists who've really struggled for a long time. So well in for it.
All right. Stevens, what's been happening, locally on the entertainment scene? I mean, since we were last on Hot Topics, it's like December, but we can come closer. What's been going on, basically in the entertainment industry?
As we're breaking again, Diamond and Zari were getting a baby. And now, as we come back, Diamond and Zari have issues. Probably very, apart now. And it's been a big story again in town, basically because Zari across in Uganda and Diamond from Tanzania, and of course, all the showbiz be done in Kenya, caused a lot of noise when something around themselves happened. And here we have Zari saying, well, me and Diamond are done. And Diamond saying, me and this woman are done. And because of other issues, many issues, some of them be other women around themselves. And now Ringtone throws
a spanner into the
works and says, oh, Zari, I'm the man you'll be looking for. Actually, I have cows for you. Come home.
He bought 45 cows, right?
We should buy 45 cows. And that's one of the stories we have in the pulse today. Just looking at the whole saga around Diamond and Zari. And I think it's the biggest drama that we've actually ever had in the showbiz industry in a long time, where we have couples or a relationship which is in a limbo for. And sometimes we don't know whether it has started, whether it is moving to a next level. We don't know if it's showbiz also. But again, both of them being business people, then we are yet to see the end of this.
All right, and get yourself a copy of the Pulse to basically get those details, and as you can see them on your screen. But Solo, what is it that makes people so interested in celebrities' personal lives? I mean, somebody like Diamond, people who literally follow to detail whenever there are issues, even no matter how small they are, people want to know.
It's about lifestyle and it's about showbiz, and from the business angle and the show angle, if you follow the life of Diamond, is a classic story of from grass to grace. He's an artist who we've really seen akiwa ameparara to now. He even said that people used to call him big lips. Now they call him tender lips. Well, I don't know what that means, but
the image has changed.
but you see, a lot of people want and admire that kind of a lifestyle, especially for the young people. And you'll always want to know, how do these people live their lives? I mean, they'll always post a photo and people want to criticize. I mean, how is this guy, what is his day-to-day activity? This kind of talent, it's quite thrilling, and it's something that you cannot really shun off. And away like from the politicians and their lifestyles and all that thing, now we can see it's almost like a star-studded thing.
Right.
So it's something you'll always want to dig about, because in a lifestyle kind of way, you're not so serious in the way you dress, you're not so serious in how you're acting, your mannerism or that, and all that, or how you balance ethics and work. It's something that
I guess it's a price that you pay once you're in the limelight and you're the so-called celebrity. I mean, I think we misuse that term very much because celebrity, I think, is from the word celebrated. But there you go. In our context, celebrity is just somebody who's well known. Stevens, what else do we have in the Pulse today?
A lot. Mike, it's always hot on Friday, and it's what we call the young people's Bible. Showbiz, entertainment Bible. No mistaken. Our cover story today, if you just go to almost the center spread, is about
I see it's pulpit or Cupid. What is that all about? God's love or God's...
Cupid is about love always, and pulpit is about God. And so, again, celebrities and just following about their lifestyle. And this time it's about the gospel artist. And that's what I was calling before the show started, cross-pollination, where you'd be the man in charge or the lady in charge, and as opposed to the traditions that used to be, you'd say, I actually am not getting a girl or a man from church, I'm getting them from outside.
Yeah.
And this story is provoked by, Mr. Seed just the other day, Valentine's, last Wednesday, went and proposed to Nemo, who we, around these circles, no judgment again, was not so known to be around the same.
Not a church, not a church going person.
We know the parents are really, we're not judging now. Yeah. But I'm just saying it was provoked by. And so we have a number of them, celebrities who have fished or, gotten blessed from
would it be accurate to say that Mr. Seed and Apanda Mbegu
and Apanda Mbegu in Chini?
He's spreading the Mbegu.
And so the question is, the debate is just around, as opposed to traditions that we were used to, that you were told, Mike, tuletea msichana wa kanisa. You have to work with somebody who believes in what you believe. There's a verse around the same thinking.
Let none be unequally yoked. That's what it says.
And that's what Paul is provoking today without giving judgment. So it's for the people to tell us, really.
All right, and it's really out there. It's in the pulse, on the center. That's one of the main stories, God's love or good love. And I guess love is love at the end of the day. Yeah. But like you've mentioned, and you've said it very many times, not judging.
Oh, yes.
But just putting it out there. Solo, your thoughts on this?
Well, I think times have changed, because when we were growing up, if you see the commentary by Stevens, you'll understand this, that when we were growing up, it was a taboo to even get close to a girl. And, there were very strict guidelines. If you're a churchgoer, there are very strict guidelines on how do you associate, yes, and who do you associate yourself with, and how do you behave when you're hanging around different sexes, the male and the female. So I think times have changed. And now we are seeing that even as gospel music is also penetrating to the world, and they also listen to us, because I've seen a couple of DJs nowadays, gospel DJs who also go to the club just to say hi to the DJ and get a session. And they play even secular music. So things have changed from back then, when there were very strict guidelines if you're a Christian or if you're religiously inclined, whichever inclination you are, and we've become more liberal. So a lot of the celebrities, gospel celebrities, and we know them in our circles, and how they carry themselves. So I think it's a good read for them.
Well, in fact, I think that's where the term crossover initially came from, where you'd have music that is purely meant for gospel, crossed over into the secular world. And not just crossed over, by crossing over, it meant it even was in the charts.
Exactly.
So I guess there's a lot of crossing over. But, of course, key to note is that things may have changed, but the Bible has not changed. It remains the same. Maybe it's the interpretation that has changed. But something else I see interesting here, Solo and Stevens, is the presidential awards. And of course, there was a lot that came about, especially after those awards were given. And I can see some pictures here of certain, again, I use this word with discretion, celebrities who are recognized. Celebrities who are recognized. What is that all about?
That was a head of state commendation, and there was a lot of talk about this because it's an award given by the president that the head of state actually
the highest.
It's the highest. It's one of the highest. It's a prestigious commendation, and there was a lot of talk on social media, especially when said there was you saw radio presenter Mbusi also being among
I can see his picture here.
We also had gospel artist Rafton, Mr. Iggy. Well, a lot of people were asking what
have they done to deserve?
What have they done? There are also those people who are recently, I think the one who raised the most eyebrows was Very man.
Yes.
He was also given the HSC. And there was a lot of talk what's the
what
criteria?
Have they done?
Yeah, what's the criteria?
What's
How do you come
objective? On what grounds do they arrive at that?
Well, but leaving that behind, let's just say already it's happened and it cannot be reversed, it's a good motivator. According to me, it's a good motivator even for the youth to see. If you look at the story of Mbusi, he's someone who came from down in the streets of Korogocho all the way up to get in this combination. And the write-up in the Pulse magazine was about how he got emotional when he was being given the award. He was receiving the commendation. So him saying that, a lot of people did not believe in him. A lot of people say he's just a simple boy from the slum, probably doing drugs or pushing drugs and stuff like that. And now he's gotten to the highest and most prestigious commendation in the land, in our land. So, well, still a lot of questions raised about how they arrived at that. But there you go. It's in the Pulse, and you can see it. Before we move to the Nairobian, Stevens, something else maybe we need to note of the Pulse?
I want to pick,
there's so much.
There's a lot. And so, again, it's your copy. Go and buy it. Take it home. Discuss it with your friends. I think one of the other main stories I would just want to touch is the calligraph story. Yes. And calligraph has become another person you cannot ignore. Again, from, like you'd say, all the way from down the slums.
Yes.
To probably one of the biggest hip-hop artists that we have in Kenya now. And just the other day, he releases a video that has some illustrations that were questionable.
Disturbing. Well, disturbing to some.
To some. Yeah. to others, it's okay. And it provokes, again, the all debate that we've been having around hip-hop music, which is the Illuminati talk. And so we will leave that to the people.
Well, you read it for yourself, and Calligraph with his new hit, Rider.
He's not even new to that kind of controversy, because there was that concert last year. I mean, it was the Jameson Connect concert, where he got on stage in a coffin.
Now, that is creepy. Extremely creepy.
No, that's not normal.
Wow. Why would you do that? Anyway, just the thought of getting into a coffin is...
The thought of even buying it.
The thought of buying it and ferrying it to the event.
Actually, what is the origin of that thought?
No. He has a song called Mazishi, where he says that rappers will know it's a funeral, like he's coming to murder them.
I think I'll take a break at that point. That just gives me the chills and the heebie-jeebies, and we'll come back and... okay, well, I'm told we're not coming back here. We need to wind up, and very quickly, just the headline of the Nairobian, and what else we may pick from the Nairobian.
Okay, a lot of controversies and true stories that are legit. We don't post anything in the Nairobian unless we have verified. And here is one of the stories. Mheshimiwa used and dumped me on Valentine's Day. This is a story of a young man who's only 25 years old, who's saying that the former women rep, Dr. Cecilia Ngetich, was his lover. Well, she has been denying, and the guy went ahead and shared some photos. There's some steamy photos of in
all
their
I
relationship.
can say is that these photos are, well, let's just say that they say a lot.
Well, why was he used?
Because on Valentine's Day, they were supposed to travel, like lovers do, those things that lovers do on Valentine's Day.
Don't give out the whole story. But this you need to read for yourself. And looking at these pictures...
Well, she has denied the photos, saying that they're Photoshopped. But, well, you can grab the copy of the Nairobian and decide for yourself.
I do know my way around Photoshop, so I will reserve my comments for now.
He says he's really interested.
Is he still interested? Now that he's complaining.
He's not giving up.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a story right there. I've also seen a story here of Member of Parliament for Gilgil, Martha Wangari, and Peter Karanja saying that she is still his wife. I remember I'd read an article where she had said that, she was not going to live under abuse anymore.
Yes. She's been accused. Well, there was the first marriage where she said to have separated with the husband, and they went both ways. But then there was this guy called PK, Peter Karanja, a businessman, who has been, she's complaining that she had to end the relationship, and she's accusing infidelity, violence, and dissertation. So that's another very steamy story, and you can even see photos of their palatial home, and here's PK feeding her something, and her
I like the way you say steamy.
Yeah. Her mouth is wide open. There you go. I think you can grab a copy of the Nairobian.
All right, we need to wind up. There's a lot more in the Nairobian and the Pulse. Stevens, as you say goodbye, anything we should look out for this weekend?
A lot. I think showbiz is back. after all the politics and everything. We're moving towards March. It's again moving towards month end. And I know, for example, we have Samantha Bridal this weekend. Quite a big show. It's grown across the years. We have the Safaricom Jazz Festival, a very big event, and many others that people can look forward to.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this morning on, well, just looking at entertainment news and breaking it down from the Pulse. Do get yourself a copy of the Pulse and the weekly newspaper of the Nairobian, which has got a lot more. For now, we're going to take a short break, but remember, we still have Tafsiri Band. We're going to give us some music and entertainment, and I'll catch up with them in just a bit. For now, we take a break, and when we come back, let's talk to Tafsiri Band.